Hi, this is again story time. Nestled between towering pines and sweeping rivers, Forest Valley, a small, secluded village in Colorado, seemed to exist in its own pocket of time. The untouched beauty of the landscape drew nature lovers and photographers alike, eager to capture the raw, rugged charm of the valley. Among them was Rebecca Reed, a 28-year-old photographer from Denver. After years of city life, Rebecca had planned a solo photography tour through the valley, hoping to lose herself in nature for a few days. But Rebecca wasn't entirely free of entanglements. Back in Denver, she had a boyfriend of 2 years, Mark. A smart, driven, and dependable man, Mark had been a steady presence in Rebecca's life. They'd built a comfortable routine together, shared some intimate moments, and she had recently started thinking about asking him to marry her. There was nothing wrong with Mark. On paper, everything seemed perfect, but something in Rebecca had been quietly unsettled, a feeling she hadn't quite allowed herself to examine. On the second day of her photography tour, while exploring an overgrown path that wound its way into a clearing, Rebecca met someone she hadn't expected. His name was Dylan. He was a local, born and raised in Forest Valley. Tall, with a scruffy beard, an easy smile, and eyes that seemed to hold the warmth of the earth itself, Dylan struck Rebecca in a way she couldn't quite explain. They met when she stumbled upon his cabin while chasing the perfect light for a photograph. "What brings you all the way out here?" Dylan asked, leaning against the wooden railing of his porch as Rebecca snapped pictures of the nearby river. "Photography," she answered, her breath catching slightly. There was something about his presence that was both calming and disarming. "I needed to get away from the city." "I don't blame you," he replied, his gaze drifting toward the horizon. "The valley has a way of making everything else seem small." They spent hours talking, about the valley, about their lives. Dylan told her he had left for a while, tried to live in the city, but the pull of the valley was too strong, and he'd returned to build a quiet life, working as a craftsman and guiding visitors through the trails. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the trees, Rebecca felt a strange sense of peace, as if she had found something she didn't even know she was looking for. The next few days were filled with more chance encounters. Dylan showed her hidden spots in the valley, places tourists would never find on their own. With every passing moment, the pull between them grew stronger. Rebecca found herself laughing more, feeling more present than she had in a long time. She realized that Dylan's quiet strength and deep connection to nature made her feel seen in a way that Mark never had. And yet, thoughts of Mark weighed on her. She and Mark had been through a lot together, and there was comfort in their relationship, a certainty in what the future could hold. But there was no spark, nothing like the unexplainable pull she felt toward Dylan. Was she willing to give up something solid for the unknown? On her last evening in Forest Valley, Rebecca and Dylan sat by the river, the sky ablaze with stars. She knew she had to make a decision soon. The thought of leaving him behind felt like tearing something from her soul, but how could she explain this to Mark? "I'm leaving tomorrow," Rebecca said quietly, breaking the silence. "I know," Dylan replied, not turning to look at her. He seemed to sense the weight of her decision before she had even spoken it aloud. "I don't want to make this harder for you, but I can't pretend I don't feel this connection." Rebecca sighed, her heart torn in two directions. "I don't know what to do. I have a life back in Denver, and Mark, he's been good to me. But you, there's something about you. It's like I've known you forever." Dylan reached for her hand, and for a moment, they sat in silence, the rushing river the only sound between them. Then he said something that caught Rebecca completely off guard. "I think you should go back to him." Rebecca turned to him, startled. "What? Why?" Dylan's eyes met hers, soft but steady. "I care about you, Rebecca. But I think part of what you feel is the magic of this place, the freedom, the escape. It's easy to fall in love with an idea out here. You need to see if this feeling is real, or if it's just the valley." Rebecca stared at him, unsure of what to say. There was truth in his words, but it didn't make the pull between them any less real. "Go back," Dylan continued, his voice gentle but firm. "If, after some time, you still feel the same way, come find me. I'll be here." The unexpected twist in his words shocked Rebecca. She had expected Dylan to fight for her, to tell her to leave Mark and stay. But instead, he had given her the space to make her own choice, a gift she hadn't realized she needed. When Rebecca returned to Denver, she saw Mark with fresh eyes. They went through their routines, but something felt different. Mark, noticing her distance, eventually asked what was wrong. After a long conversation, Rebecca realized that while she cared for Mark deeply, he wasn't her forever. There was no passion, no spark that lit her soul on fire. And so, with a heavy heart, she ended the relationship. Weeks later, after spending time alone, reflecting on what truly made her happy, Rebecca packed her bags and returned to Forest Valley. There, in the same clearing where they first met, Dylan was waiting, as he had promised. Rebecca smiled, knowing she had made the right choice, not just for them, but for herself. Did you enjoy the video? Then please subscribe, like, comment and share this video. Thanks for watching.